Hi there, welcome back to my RSILife.com YouTube channel. I'm Mitch, and today we're going to talk about the news. There's some big things happening in the RSI world, and primarily what I'm talking about is Nuance Communications getting acquired by Microsoft. You may have noticed I'm filming in a new location than what you're used to in my videos. I'm just visiting my folks for the weekend. Another thing I did, I reached out to the Microsoft media people. They gave a website or an email address at the bottom of that article we reviewed. I really hope they get back to me. I would love to speak to someone at Microsoft. I'm just not sure if this channel is big enough potatoes for them to reply. I'll definitely let you know if they do. Okay, let's just get right into the article here. So I'm just gonna scroll up and down using my foot pedal. I mapped the up and down keys to the foot pedal. So here we're seeing news.microsoft.com. This is from March 4th. I get I'm kind of a month late here, but I don't really like using a computer, so sorry about that. But it's something we need to talk about anyway. Microsoft completes acquisition of Nuance, ushering in new era of outcomes-based AI. That doesn't sound like it has anything to do with how we use a computer. Microsoft Corp on Friday announced the completion of its acquisition of Nuance Communications Incorporated, a leader in conversational AI, hey, that's what we use, and ambient intelligence across industries including healthcare, financial services, retail, and telecommunications. Driven by a shared vision to build outcomes-based AI, Microsoft and Nuance will enable organizations across industries to accelerate their business goals with our security. Okay, so what else do they say here? Completion of this significant and strategic, it brings together Nuance's best-in-class AI and intelligence with secure and trusted cloud offerings. Yes, so that's what they're talking about there is probably their Microsoft Office 365 cloud package. Said Scott Guthrie, Executive VP of Microsoft, this powerful combination will help providers offer more affordable, effective, and accessible healthcare. So why did Microsoft do this? Because Nuance Communications is a big player in the healthcare world, and they do an amazing thing, and they help us, you know, folks with hand problems use a computer or alternative computer use, and disabled folks and all that. But really, most of their business is from industries that regular people dictate, like healthcare, for example. So if you're holding Microsoft stock or Nuance stock, you might be, you know, very happy. This isn't exactly a finance channel. So they're not really talking about what this means for Dragon. So we're left to speculate. So let's go do that. The first thing we should definitely expect is for Microsoft to shift Nuance's Dragon dictation software from a perpetual license monetization strategy to a subscription monetization strategy. And for those of you who don't know what that means, it means right now we buy Dragon, naturally speaking, the software product, and we pay a retail price for it, and then it's ours. We have the software, we can use it, we can throw it away, we can do whatever we want with it. A subscription means exactly what it sounds like. They offer the product, you pay to use the product, and you basically pay as you use it. There are, of course, positives and negatives associated with that, just like anything. So the negatives are going to be more expensive in the long term. And if you're using the software and subscribing for 10 years, that's probably going to add up to more than what it's retailing for. That's really the only negative I can see from it though, because a subscription model may make it easier for new users to acquire it, especially if there's like a freemium offering that they might build, so that if you're disabled and you need to, you know, save up or budget to get Dragon, you could have the freemium version, and that could just grant you access to a computer. And of course, the second good thing about subscriptions is that it includes free software updates. Right now, if you have the old version of Dragon and you want to get the new version of Dragon, you have to fork over the retail price for the new version, regardless of whether you bought the first one or not. So subscriptions, yeah, they'll give you free updates, which is an advantage over the perpetual license model. So that's a bit about the cost of Dragon. So now let's just talk about outcomes from a software perspective. So the way I see some negative outcomes out of this acquisition might be a disruption to current users' habits and workflows because of just simple user interface changes and functionality changes. If they say, hey, new feature, we're gonna have to spend time to learn that new feature. If they say, hey, new user interface, we're gonna have to learn that new user interface. We see that all the time with software acquisitions. We saw that with Instagram and Facebook. Instagram was changing quite a bit. Another possible negative outcome, I don't know if this is gonna be negative or not, but we don't know what it's gonna look like for Mac or Apple users. I know that Nuance helped build Siri many years ago, but I'm not really a Mac user, so can't really speak with authority on that topic. Next, let's move on to some positive outcomes from a software perspective. So with the help of Microsoft, Dragon Naturally Speaking will hopefully become more accurate or better or include new features or cool things, and we can do more than we used to. That's what I'm expecting. Hopefully Microsoft will help Dragon Dictation become a better product. Then, of course, this is what I think is kind of obvious too, Dragon Naturally Speaking could become packaged with Office 365. Office 365 is, of course, Microsoft Word and Outlook and PowerPoint and Excel and a host of other applications. Dragon Dictation could become part of that, which would be super exciting. I don't know if any one of you has used the dictate button on Outlook or on Word right now. It's not good. And so if we had something like Dragon coupled with Word, that would just be amazing. So a lot to look forward here. I'll keep you updated if we see any changes. Thanks for watching.